Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Astrological Intentions. I'm your host, Alex Reevy, along with the confetti cleaner herself, Sandy Reevish.
Thank you for reminding me. I haven't done that yet.
It is episode 338 and the week of January 13th. Let's get right into it. In the transits today, Sun trine Uranus retrograde.
Pop of luck.
And a full moon in 24 degrees of Cancer.
Difficult, but saved at the bell.
January 14th, Tuesday, Venus square Jupiter.
Keep your faith.
The 15th, Wednesday, Sun opposing Mars retrograde.
Ooh, Mars is closest to the Earth.
Friday the 17th, Sun sextile Neptune.
Where's your art?
Sandy's favorite day, Saturday the 18th, Venus conjunct Saturn.
She's giving him grace.
And Mercury sextile Saturn.
Time to learn.
And Sunday, well, actually that was Sunday the 19th, Mercury sextile Saturn, time to learn, Mercury sextile Venus.
So learn to write poetry.
And Sun ingress Aquarius.
And make it for everybody.
Then on the horizon, we just finished up our year ahead, so go ahead and watch that. It is open to the public. And also our Celebrate Your Life in Scottsdale, Arizona show that is coming up this week. And yes, if you are interested in joining us for the Greece retreat or Italy retreat, make sure to email us or head over to our website. Thank you, everybody, and we are starting this episode right now.
I say go do you. Now travel far, share your stories and earn your scars. It's you. Say you are the one you will answer to when this life is done. Don't waste a minute, jump in the river, wash yourself clean so you can deliver you. The story of you.
Hello, confetti cleaner.
Oh my gosh. My neighbors, which, in a townhouse, so all my neighbors were really good buddies, were good neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
And on New Year's Eve, they always plan where they go up on the, couple of them go up on the very top floor, the fourth floor, right next to me, right next to my fourth floor. And they, at midnight, do the countdown, and then they throw these balloons down with confetti and glitter and just these things.
Mm-hmm.
And the kids are on the bottom, popping the balloons, and just, this is going all over. I'm usually sawing logs by midnight. And the next morning, when I open up my garage door to go somewhere, the wind was really strong, and they had two big push brooms that kind of fell into my car because they had leaned up against my garage. But then all this stuff is blowing inside my garage. So I haven't said anything to anybody because, that was some weeks ago, but I'm going to be celebrating this 2025 New Year's Day every time I go into the garage.
Right.
It looks like it's a graffiti party.
Confetti party.
Which is starting to look like, what's the other word I just used?
Graffiti,
because it's crappy looking.
Right. All right, well, let's move straight into the week. In the transits, we start off with Monday, January 13th, Sun trine Uranus retrograde.
Hey, this is happening right now. It's a pop of luck, or is it a potluck?
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's a surprise energy. This means, again, anytime the sun is making a trine to one of the outer planets, that outer planet is moving in another direction. Uranus has been retrograde for months and months, and it's now soon to turn direct within the next few weeks. So kind of this surprise energy is now kind of coming back. It's not so dead energy. So pop of luck.
And the same day, there's a full moon at 24 degrees of Cancer.
So, yeah, that's today at 4:27 p.m. So get out to sea because it will be a full moon, just as the sun is going down. The moon is coming up super bright. Now, if you've been watching like I have and the ladies that were at the Mexico retreat that we're just getting back from, if you're seeing that, you've been watching this accumulate because boom, what's at 25 degrees of Cancer. So the moon is going to be right on Procyon and then right on Pollux. These are the two fixed stars that are really near this area of the, well, they're in Gemini, but they're right here with this Procyon and Pollux. So let me break that down. When the moon is by Procyon, that's the Canis Minor, that's the little dog. And that transition, it's a transition star. It says to take advantage of an offer before it disappears, right? Because that's the little dog. Procyon is like right before Sirius starts coming up, and Sirius was super bright in the sky right now. And then Sirius is the next planet that comes up over the horizon, or next fixed star that comes over the horizon. But this 23 degrees of Pollux is in one of the shoulders of the Gemini, and it's the darker-minded twin of Gemini, usually is experiencing hardships to understand one's success. It's kind of looking at the darker angle of how one can get up. You have to see the dark side in order to see the light. So this moon is on both of these during its fullness, the moon's fullness. We also have the moon making a conjunction with Mars retrograde at 27 degrees of Cancer. So that's kind of the difficulty as the moon is moving toward all of this Procyon, Pollux, and Mars retrograde. But this sun is really close to the Pluto planet. So it's kind of spicy yet soothing, difficult, but saved at the bell because it does have this energy. Moon likes to be in Cancer where the moon is right now. But at this placement, there's Mars retrograde there. There's Procyon that says, hey, taking advantage of an offer before it no longer is available, and to experience the success through kind of the darker angle.
Right. Or trudging through maybe some shadow work that needs to happen. Looking at the dark side of things in order to bring light to it.
Yeah. So, and then there's some really nice angles of potential that are forming here. So again, it's like, taking a deep breath, right? Holding your breath, jumping, doing something, and then going, oh, even though that might have been scary at the beginning, it really wasn't at the end. It's kind of like going into a Temescal, right? Or a sweat lodge where it's like, I don't know what to expect. Going into the dark, you got to go now kind of feeling, and then taking a strong look at because it's a full moon, which means there is a culmination of what has maybe occurred in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, makes sense. So Tuesday, January 14th, Venus squared Jupiter. It's the first of 3 passes.
Yeah, and there's reception here, and this is the combination when the two benefics, Venus and Jupiter, are at any aspect. They like to see one another. And this is keeping your faith and your beliefs. Good people gain through differences. And the reason there's a square here. So Venus is in Pisces, where she is exalted, making a square to Jupiter. And Jupiter's still retrograde here, although Jupiter is about to, he's probably 2 weeks away from moving direct. So this is a beautiful placement. And Jupiter's in Gemini. So, if Venus is in Pisces, she's exalted there, but Jupiter is the ruler of Pisces. So this is, to gain your faith, gain your beliefs, stay on them, stay true to them. You may need to quantify them or qualify them. Yeah.
And Wednesday, January 15th, Sun opposing Mars retrograde.
So, this is the opposition, which means we're halfway through the Mars retrograde timeline, right? His direction of retrograde. So Mars is closest to the Earth. When any planet is opposing the Sun, It is closest to the Earth, so it's very bright. It's very red. In fact, please go look outside tonight. I've been watching it. We've been watching it every night in the sky. So the sun goes down, and remember, it's opposite. So when the sun goes down, Mars is coming up over the horizon.
Okay.
And so he's visible all night long. And of course, he's the red planet. So take a look at him. Watch your way while keeping your eye on others. Don't step on anyone's toes, right? This is the sun in Capricorn making an opposition to Mars retrograde in Cancer. And again, when we think about the sun in Capricorn, Mars is exalted in Capricorn. So there's reception here, but just watch your sun, your identity, how you want to shine your light. Are you offending others or trying to support them? Right?
Yeah.
Maybe you can offer suggestion, like maybe they're going off their route.
Sometimes with a little kitty gloves kind of delivery.
Or just all you can do is claim your statement and then let them be them.
Right. Take it from there. So Friday, January 17th, Sun sextile Neptune.
So this is a bit different now because we're getting a sextile to Neptune. Where's your art? Where are your words of inspiration? Use them purposefully. You or someone dear needs to hear. And I really like this. This will be our first full day at Celebrate Your Life, the event in Scottsdale, Arizona, with the Mishka Productions. And Dr. Bruce Lipton's going to be there, Dr. Anita Murati, and Dr. Sue Mortar, and Greg Braden. So they're going to certainly be giving us words of inspiration.
Oh, absolutely.
And so I really like that this timing here for where we're headed.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to Saturday, January 18th, your favorite day. Venus conjunct Saturn, first of 3.
It's again, Saturn's been in Pisces for a year and a half, and here comes, Venus is meeting Saturn this time at 15 degrees of Pisces. It is my favorite day because it's sitting right on my natal Mercury. So she's giving him grace because she's exalted here. And this is the first of 3. So this is the first time that maybe there's a loyalty. The second time is April 7th, and then the third time is April 24th. So for me, I know as this is sitting on one of my natal planets that I really do want to make a certain commitment here because it's Saturn, but it's Venus. It would be great for a marriage day or a proposal of some type because it's or you're thinking about a marriage because again, Venus is going to retrograde, come back to Saturn, move forward and come back to Saturn. So I've actually given someone, not you, but given someone a wedding day of around April 24th, because you do need Saturn in a commitment saying, I promise, I vow this plus this plus this, and all the hardships and making a commitment in Venus. And it's in Pisces. So, wow, it's great.
Right. And the durability there. Yeah.
And loyalty and, commitment to love.
In the long term.
Through soft and hard and thick and thin.
And Sunday, January 19th, we have 3 transits. The first is Mercury sextile Saturn.
This is time to learn. This has Mercury is in Capricorn. So Saturn's ruler of Capricorn. This is with reception. So Mercury's now under the beams, soon to be hidden. So take the time to understand the meaning of a thing, the meaning of a subject, the meaning, fact check. Interesting. We're going to dig
into some research.
Yeah. We're going to have to be doing all of our own fact checking these days because I was just reading that X has now laid off their fact checkers. So it's hard to believe that that's true, but We have to do our own facts. We can't believe everything on social media.
Right. I think that's already been happening that way. There's a lot of medical things floating around, a lot of, stuff that sounds believable, and they might post up some things on the screen as they're talking, but yeah, you really do have to figure out if that's a good fit for you personally.
Yeah. So, because Mercury in Capricorn does have that the communication, the words or the thoughts or the subject are Earth, right? They're cardinal Earth. They are believable. But, with that, the sextile to Saturn in Pisces is, is it believable? Is it scam? Is it deceit? Is it a big story when the story is really more minute? But it's a sextile. So here it's time to learn. But over the next few weeks, Mercury is moving fast now. Mercury's moving fast, and it's going to take up across the sun here in a couple weeks.
And Mercury also is making another sextile that same day, Sunday the 19th, to Venus.
Right, because doesn't that make sense? Venus was conjunct Saturn on Saturday, and then Sunday Mercury's swinging through here, hitting Saturn, boom, then hitting Venus. And this is learn to write poetry or some sort of music, something with flow and rhythm. Do some dancing, do some creative mind searches for really blending beauty.
Yeah.
Reading something, watching something, creating art, creating your heart.
Absolutely. Yeah. Even movement, if there's a way to do some interpretive dance, Mercury can communicate in many different forms, not just through written word, but also movement.
The other thing I like about these two is, it's a sextile. They can only go through two aspects. This is Mercury, the scribe of the sun, and it's Venus, the what do we
beautifier.
Call it? The beautifier, the stylist of the sun.
Right.
And they are constantly going around the sun. And this is the only aspect they can make other than a conjunction, is the sextile. And so this is their last aspect before they conjunct while they're both retrograding together. It's going to be odd that, not all the time does Venus retrogrades once every 19 months. Mercury retrogrades once every 3 months. They're retrograding simultaneously from Aries back into Pisces she's 40 days and 40 nights and he's 21 days. So they're going to be moving together. So this is really, make a note of this Sunday, the 19th. Make a note on what you're learning. What is the rhythm of something that you're thinking, you're writing, you're speaking? Because that's not done. It gets to ingrain more while they're both retrograding and coming together again through March and April.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the final transit of the week is Sun ingress Aquarius, still that Sunday the 19th.
Yeah, this is at 2 p.m. and there's a lot going on Sunday. So, and of course, Sun in Aquarius, happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday, all Aquarius.
All Aquariuses. But make it for all. Whatever you're doing here, make it for all of humanity, right? Because that's what the sign of Aquarius is. It's about everyone.
Inclusivity.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a big week.
It is a big week. Yes. So let's wrap up this episode with On the Horizon, where we have recorded a 2-hour special called The Year Ahead. This is with Sandy and Susan. They do this every beginning of the year. It's an astrology forecast. We had even a raffle if you were there live and were able to snag some really awesome prizes. But yes, so this video is live for everyone to view. And if you are interested, these monthly updates are going to be happening on our Patreon community with Sandy and Susan, going further in depth into those forecasts and transits. Also this week, starting on the 16th through the 19th, we have Celebrate Your Life. It's one of our all-time favorite events, and that is in Scottsdale, Arizona. If you haven't already, I'm pretty sure tickets are close to being sold out, if not already sold out. So grab your ticket. We would love for you to join. And let's see. The 2025 Greece retreat is happening in September of this year. We would love for you to join. Registration is open. And coming shortly after that is the Tuscany, Italy retreat, which is in October, the beginning of October. That registration page is coming soon. And if you want to get your foot in the door early, go ahead and email sandy@intentionbeads.com.
Yes, I've been compiling a list of those that are waiting for this to be available, that I'm going to. So if you're interested, the group I'm collecting are getting a little bit of a heads up.
Right.
Before I put it out on the first
Correct.
look, before I put it out on the public arena.
Yes. So that's going to be, I guess, a wrap for this episode. We'll update you more next week once we have some more time. It's a quick turnaround. Sandy just got back from her Mexico retreat, and we're heading off to the Celebrate Your Life in Scottsdale, Arizona. So we'll update you more with some of our stories. So we'll talk to you all next week. Thanks, everybody, for joining in.
Bye now. Happy New Year.
I say go do you. Now travel far, share your stories and earn your scars. It's you. Say you are the one, you will answer to when this life is done. Don't waste a minute, jump in the river. Wash yourself clean so you can deliver you. The story of you, the story of you.